Here's your wrestling news for September 3rd, 2021. And your headlines for today include: Daffney Unger passes away at 46 years old. WWE, ROH, and Daffney's mother issue statements on her passing. Wrestlers and promotions pay tribute. WWE sends text to superstars offering mental health counseling. Ryback and Carl Anderson go ballistic. More WWE NXT superstars on the chopping block for releases. Backstage news on Triple H's role in WWE NXT going forward. CM Punk sent for commentary on AEW Rampage. Major comments by CM Punk on WWE. Brock Lesnar's WWE return took buzz away from CM Punk's AEW debut, says Kurt Angle. AEW ended match during commercial break to educate their audience, and more. We're starting today with some tragic news as former WCW and TNA star Daffney Unger has died, aged 46. Yesterday, we reported that Daffney had concerned fans and those in the industry during a tearful live stream where she spoke about taking her own life, and numerous individuals have come forward saying that Daffney's family have confirmed she's passed away. News of her death was also confirmed by Shimmer, who informed fans with the blessing of Daffney's family, and earlier in the day, TMZ reported that police had been unable to locate her despite showing up to her most recent address. In an update on Facebook, Daffney's mother, Jean Tukey Spruill, confirmed her daughter's passed on Wednesday night, saying she was absolutely heartbroken by her sudden death. Ring of Honor also mourned her loss, praising her work as a wrestler, manager, and valet, and highlighted her time during the early days of ROH, when she managed the Second City Saints trio of CM Punk, Colt Cabana, and Ace Steel. In their statement, WWE praised Daffney's work in WCW, saying her arrival in late 1999 gained her worldwide recognition, and acknowledged her WCW Cruiserweight Championship win in May 2000, making her the second woman ever to hold the title. The NWA remembered Daffney as a special soul in the business of professional wrestling, whilst Mick Foley called her death a terrible loss, and encouraged anyone thinking of doing harm to themselves to know that help is available. Crowbar Devon Storm, who worked with Daffney in WCW, said their partnership was one of the most enjoyable times of his career, and fellow WCW alum and now WWE producer Shane Helms shared a clip of Daffney hitting him with the Frankensteiner, calling it his favorite Daffney moment. Shayna Baszler said that Daffney was ahead of her time and that mental health isn't a joke, while Paige called her an inspiration to many people, including herself. In her Instagram live video, Daffney said how her brain goes to Boston, which appears to be a reference to the Concussion Legacy Foundation, where many athletes donate their brains to be studied after they pass. She worked for WCW from 1999 to 2001, and later TNA from 2008 to 2011, but Daffney also had stints in Shine, ROH, and many other promotions, with her career including in-ring action, managerial work, and acting. Daffney's last match took place on April 10, 2011, where she defeated Sami Zayn at a PWF event, and we're sending our deepest condolences to her family at this tragic time. Daffney's death has been a tragic loss to wrestling, as she was regarded by many as an absolute sweetheart in the industry, and it's particularly tragic considering how she appeared in that now infamous livestream. PW Insider is reporting that in response to Daffney's passing, WWE superstars were sent a text by the company, encouraging them to reach out if they too are struggling. The text reads, "As a reminder to our talent, if you are dealing with a difficult personal matter and would like to speak to someone to get the support you need, please don't hesitate to contact, counseling company name withheld, at number deleted, or WWE Medical. It's never a good idea to suffer in silence, and WWE are trying to make sure that anyone struggling at the moment can be helped. And we'd like to echo their statement and let fans know that help is always available if they're struggling with mental health." Daffney's death has been a terrible loss, and WWE is trying to make sure that none of their roster are suffering, but Carl Anderson isn't a fan of that idea. When Sean Ross Sapp spoke about WWE's email, Anderson proved he has sour grapes with the company, replying that, "They suck, bro," in a tasteless response. Anderson has since deleted the tweet, but is claiming that he hasn't, and fans fired back at the former Raw Tag Team Champion, accusing him of using Daffney's death as a platform to bash his former employer. It wasn't long before Anderson was trending on social media, and many fans called Anderson out as bitter, whilst others called him out for cheating on his wife over the years. In response, Anderson went on the attack, calling fans marks and threatened that he'd attack fans if he ever saw them face to face. In one tweet, Anderson did share the hotline for National Suicide Prevention, but returned to mocking fans, calling them marks and threatening to fight them immediately after. Anderson has stopped responding to fans, but even his most recent tweets are having comments from people unhappy with what he had to say, as it seems fans aren't ready to move on after his tasteless tweet. Carl Anderson used Daphne's death as a platform to attack WWE, but he's not the only former superstar with an axe to grind. When the account Wrestling Positivity shared the interaction between Sean Ross Sapp and Anderson, former star Ryback responded with some harsh words of his own, both about WWE and the Fightful journalist. "They also haven't called me once after breaking my back and shoulder. Hundreds of thousands of medical costs along with legal fees. Sean is a f***ing cunt, Mark. The truth always wins out. All these guys. Oh, and suppressing my social media and putting out countless lies. GTFO." It's always worth pointing out that Ryback has never proven the claim that WWE are illegally suppressing his accounts, and the former Intercontinental Champion has since deleted this tweet. Both Ryback and Anderson have been taking shots at WWE ever since their releases in 2016 and 2020 respectively, and clearly, the sad death of Daphne Unger wasn't going to change them calling out their former employer. Over to WWE now, and NXT is set for a massive relaunch later this month, with a new logo already confirmed for the show. In recent months, several NXT superstars have been cut from the Gold brand, all as part of Vince McMahon's plan for the show to be a developmental ground once more, and now more releases are expected. Speaking on Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer said how more names are on the chopping block, including superstars who have been with NXT for a very long time. It's been reported this week that Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard will be at the helm of NXT from now on, something that has come as very bad news to many fans. Meltzer didn't name any names who are at risk right now, but now everyone on the NXT roster, especially those who have been loyal to the Gold brand for the longest time, could be out of a job very soon. With Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon taking control of the Gold brand, questions have now raised as to what'll happen with Triple H, who was, until now, the top decider of the show. Since the show's reinvention in 2012, the game has been in control and helped make NXT one of the most popular wrestling programs of any company. According to WrestleVotes, Triple H won't be leaving the Gold brand entirely, as they report, "After talking to sources regarding NXT, the day-to-day operation isn't changing that drastically. Still very much in the hands of Triple H, HBK, Regal, Bloom, etc. However, the look of the weekly TV product will have a Vince & Co. stamp on it. I expect it to be subtle to start. Then?" The game will still have a role in NXT, but ultimately the show will be in control of his father-in-law, who has the power to override any of Triple H's decisions. It's already confirmed that NXT will be getting a new logo and stage with a new theme by Wale rumored ahead of the return to live programming on September 14th. And although the show is a McMahon and Pritchard production, the game and his team aren't gone just yet. This Sunday, CM Punk will have his first match in 7 years when he faces Darby Allin, but the former WWE champion will be able to watch his opponent closely tonight. On Twitter, AEW have confirmed that tonight's Rampage will see Allin face Daniel Garcia and that Punk will be on commentary, no doubt with a lot to say. This'll mark Punk's first time on commentary in AEW, but if you've seen his work behind the desk in WWE, you'll know he's a natural, and we're sure he'll have plenty to say about his upcoming opponent 48 hours before they collide. Punk's match this Sunday comes over 7.5 years after his last match in WWE, where he competed in the 2014 Royal Rumble. The next night, Punk walked out of the company after complaining about his health and what he believed to be a staph infection, which was never diagnosed nor treated by the company. Now Punk is far happier in AEW, and during an appearance on Busted Open Radio, said that his decision to leave WWE was a matter of life and death. He explained, "I was gonna die, you know what I mean? Was never given time off after an elbow surgery, a knee surgery, narrowly avoided a hip surgery. It was always, no, we need you. And it's nice to be needed, but they will run you dry. I watched too many friends get swallowed up by this business and drugs and everything else they thought they had to do to keep going. Believing that only he could take care of himself, Punk chose to leave, saying that had he not made the call, he would have kept going until he died, adding that he didn't want a posthumous Hall of Fame induction. He added, "I wish there was a support system, but I was mentally, physically, spiritually, and emotionally just in pain, and if I didn't get out of there, I wouldn't be here right now." In the infamous 2014 interview with Colt Cabana, Punk said there's no chance he'll ever work with WWE again, and that seems especially true given that the former world champion believes he wouldn't be here today had he not made the decision to leave over 7 years ago. After over 7 years away, Punk's return to wrestling was a huge deal last month, but he wasn't the only big name to return to TV. Just days after Punk's appearance on the AEW Rampage The First Dance special, Brock Lesnar returned at WWE SummerSlam, confronting Universal Champion Roman Reigns. It's been speculated that Lesnar was brought back to take some focus away from Punk's debut, and whether that was WWE's intention or not, that's certainly what happened, according to Kurt Angle, who told Wrestling Inc. Daily, "Anytime you bring in Brock Lesnar, it's a huge deal. So yes, it definitely took away some of the buzz that was created when CM Punk and possibly Daniel Bryan joined AEW, but those two are big names too. I think WWE did enough damage control by bringing Lesnar in, but I don't think Punk joining AEW will affect them much. But they did lose Bryan and Punk, who I'm guessing was never going back to WWE, so that didn't really matter." Punk has consistently appeared on Dynamite and Rampage since his debut, whilst Brock hasn't been seen since SummerSlam, but we'll have to see what the Beast does the next time he shows up, reportedly ahead of next month's Crown Jewel. And we're ending today with Dynamite, which this week saw Orange Cassidy face Jack Evans with a bizarre finish to their match. It was during one of the show's picture-in-picture ad breaks that Cassidy rolled Evans up for a decisive win, but this wasn't an example or case of bad timing. On Wrestling Observer Radio, Dave Meltzer discussed how abruptly the match ended mid-commercial, saying, "When I first saw it, my mind was, oh my god, they messed up the timing, and then I basically checked and, no, this went according to plan, and this went as it was supposed to." Meltzer called it an education thing, as AEW wants audiences to know what's happening during the picture-in-picture ads is just as important as any other part of the show. We'll have to see if AEW saves any more finishes for the picture-in-picture ads, but odds are fans will be watching a lot more closely from now on. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.